Hi guys, welcome to Underrated Nails. We are doing inspiration for Princess and the Frog Winter Edition. So I'm starting out with Young Nails Clutch, and I am going to be going in with Prince Naveen, and I am going to be outlining his eyeballs, and I am going to be doing a little bit of highlighting and low lighting on his face. I did most of the design off camera. And so when I finally realized I didn't record it, I was like, well, let me catch the ending parts of it. Just because, and true, this video might have been way longer than I wanted it to be. Okay, so now I'm going with a lighter brown just so I can see the bridge of his nose coming down from where his eyes meet, and like the little dip is turned to the side. So I'm going in and using a lighter nude just to go in so I can see it physically, so I can at least get the shape of that nose down right. Okay, so now I'm going in with some Naturalist First Snow, which is like a milky white. And I'm going in that, and I'm going to add that into the original color I was using to actually lighten up his face so I can get the extension of his nose. Alright, so I'm going in with that lighter color just to highlight the bridge of his nose and get the structure of his nose down pat. And I'm going to go in and use it as some natural highlighting moments on his face just to accentuate where the light is hitting. So I'm also using that light color that I was using for highlight, and I am also using that color to go in and fill out his nose color so I can see the streak that's going down it since his nose is pointed to the side. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to go ahead and highlight his hair just to get some movement. And then I'm going in and I'm just blending to the side, blending that nose color out and adding a little bit of highlight to that cheek and parts of his face. Just so when I come in with the lower lights, I already have my highlights in place and it could be an easy blend for me. Alright, so using the color Clutch from Young Nails, I'm going in with a small brush and I am using it very, very thin just so I can add a little bit more depth to his complexion. He was a little bit lighter than I really wanted, so I wanted to try to give him a darker complexion. And so I'm using that to do the shadows underneath his neck and on his cheeks and on his forehead. And as you can see now, I'm going in and I am using it to just blend underneath the eyes and on their forehead. Okay, so now I'm about to go in with Young Nails Black Overdrive Gel Paint. And I'm going to use that to carve out the final design and the tuxedo that he's wearing. So the little V folds that are in the jacket. You can't really see it until I actually move the nail because it is chrome. And so it is going to, get that kind of shifty feel. So I'm using that black gel to go in there and just carve that out for me and giving a little bit of darkness underneath his neck also. All right, after I finish accentuating his coat, giving some dimension, I'm going to top coat and fill him in with Young Nails Ultimate Gel. And then I'm going to move on to the rest of the set. So I am going to start out using some foil, some transfer foil. And so once I put it on there, I did see a few nicks in it. So I'm going to go in with Madame Glam Gray. And I'm going to darken that up with a little bit of Young Nails Black. And I'm going to fill that in to make it look very seamless. All right, I'm going to use Young Nails Cream Clay in the color white. And I'm going to use that to go around and outline the heart that came from the pattern in that transfer foil. And then I'm going to use the outline border that I have done on the heart to go ahead and create these icicles to go around and through the heart. And then at the bottom, that's like a little lily pad. I am using that same white, and I'm going around and just outlining it with no true definition in any means. And I'm going to just draw like some icy lines through it. All right, once I'm happy with the design, I'm going to go ahead and sugar that nail using some Speed Clear, Mr. Speed White Acrylic by Young Nails. So I am going to do the same technique on this nail also. I use this to draw almost like an acorn between two nails using like a face on the outside of each side just to give it the little shape. As you can see, there's an eye, a nose, and a mouth. The mouth is very like closed, but you can see the nose and the mouth and the forehead. I mean, the eyes and the forehead. But by the time the design is finished, you won't even notice it. So I am going to use that to pull in these ice tree limbs looking like, or should I say ice tree crystals. All right, once I'm happy with that design, creating like these little shards of crystals that's coming out, I'm gonna also sugar that portion of the design, and then I'm going to do the exact same on the opposite of this nail that connects each other. As you can see, this is a pretty easy design to do. I'm just pulling out some lines from the initial outline border I did, and then I'm going back in right now and making it a little bit thicker and cleaner. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make 5 different ice crystals that look like leaves almost. Alright, so I did start this set off with that giant Young Nuts green, some moss green, and mica powders, and some chrome colors. And this is how it looked once I had got to making the background. These are the nails, and I'm going to go ahead and finish up Tiana, which I have done mostly off of camera also. So I'm going in with a Young Nails white, and I am going to go ahead and fill in her eyes and make sure that they're more of like a little almond shape. Probably before this one, the one I practiced on initially, she looked very cock-eyed, lazy eye. So I had to go back and follow that one. So this is take 2. And so that's why you might see like some black product up there initially, because I had to file out the initial look. Then I'm going to use that white to also go over in her mouth and do her teeth. So I wasn't quite happy with her face, so I wanted to make her cheek a little bit more bigger and how they connected just to give it better proportion wise. So I'm going in with this initial brown that I had already been using. And I'm going to use that to go out, fix her cheek, and then highlight portions of her neck and face. And now I'm just blending that color out into that darker brown because I am going to come back in and do some low lights from the original color of her skin and the highlights. So I mix a little bit of mustard with some nude brown just to make a beautiful light brown for her eyes color. All right, now that I'm happy with her nose and everything, I'm going in with Uno's color, Ruby Lips, and I'm going to be using that to actually line her lips. All right, now that I'm happy with everything, I'm going to go ahead and do her crown. So I am going to use the same black that I have out from Young Nails, that's Overdrive. And I'm using the dotting tool to create the actual point where her where her stone is at. And then I'm using it to go around the rest of the head. And you can't see it on camera, but I can see it, when I was actually doing the design. I then put the chrome on it, and then I brush off any extra debris. And I am now about to go ahead with Ultimate Finish from Young Nails, and I am going to top coat this. Using that white from Young Nails cream clay, I am going in with 3 long lines. And then from each of those 3 long lines, I am going to create these frosted pine needles, almost look like, to give it like a winter feel. And I am then going in and sugar that design. And right now, before I sugar, I'm just adding a few dots of snow just to give it that whimsical feel.